The origin of psychology can be traced back to ancient Greece. Experts cannot agree on a single definition of intelligence. There is a lot more about this topic in the university website. The literal output of this research is prolific and diverse. Knowledge becomes a vital role in young generations. All students depend on their future. Students must attend the safety course before entering the engineering workshop. At that time, people moved from towns to villages. She has a small business about toys. It is expected that all students have their own laptops. You have to submit the project by the end of the week. None of the students found it difficult to get a job. His particular interest is in the 18th century French society. Such behaviors are regarded as a deviation of the norm.
There are lots of opportunities available for the student on campus. Before submitting the paper, your thesis must be approved by your tutor. The office opens on Monday and Thursday following the freshman seminar. The professor took a year off to work on her book.
You may not be allowed to read any books without the reading list. Most of the student advisors are extremely helpful. If you are worried about your work, you should see a study counselor. We have specially assigned staff to help you find appropriate work placements. Renewable energy sources are now used to produce electricity. Living in the 21st century is increasingly stressful. Please make sure you use the standard form of quotation. Please read the article that was given out yesterday. Compiling a bibliography can present a major challenge for some students.
By logging in, you agree to all terms and conditions regarding your enrollment.
We weren't able to agree on the appropriate independent variables. The chemistry building is located near the entrance of the campus.
Today we have a guest speaker who is visiting from Canada. Tomorrow's lecture has been canceled due to the power cut. The assessment of this course will begin next week. This will be the first art exhibition to be held by the university. I think that to raise the issue and to talk about it is great. The university hosts a wide range of events both on and off campus. Our capacity to serve the community is a vital part of our role. A balanced diet will help you study more effectively. At the end of the day, people want to profit from return on their investment. The support and advice of lecturers within the department has been invaluable. Graduates from this course generally find jobs in the insurance industry. All the works you consult need to be mentioned in the bibliography. One of the first mass transit systems was located in France. Speaking one or more foreign languages will be useful in your career. I have lectures on Tuesday from 9 o'clock until 2 o'clock. The professor plans to discuss issues in the news that reflect concepts taught in class. Each group should submit a rough outline of their project to their tutor. What's going on can help patients leave their fears at the door. There is a fitness center next to the student union. Animal behavior appears to contain both similar and distinct aspects to that of humans. Tomorrow evening there will be a panel discussion on sustainable development. It's a great privilege to welcome our guest speaker to our college. Key aspects of this investigative paradigm may prove useful in other spheres. All laboratory equipment will be provided in class. The key findings seem to contradict our initial hypothesis. Students' papers should be about a current social issue.
Students who study overseas can significantly improve work chances.
Please note, submission deadlines are only negotiable in exceptional circumstances. Eating a healthy breakfast can provide energy throughout the day. The bibliography needs to be removed prior to the publication. The cafeteria is open on Monday and Thursday. The temporary library will be closed in the winter break. The first assignment is due on the 14th of September. The bus right out in the front will take you to the station. Extension is only available under special circumstances. The deadline of assignments is the 4th of February. The program is for technical and scientific students. The beggar was laughed at by the children. The information you need for this meeting is on the website. The percentage of respondents who knew that the Earth circles the Sun once each year remained essentially unchanged. What he's bringing to the company is financial expertise. This Thursday is the last day for students to withdraw subjects without any penalty. The amount of time spent on configuration varies considerably. An essay should use evidence from both primary and secondary sources. The final exam will test material from all chapters covered in class this term. The tutorial rooms are located along the left-hand side. The English expression is just a way of saying that age is not important. You can borrow up to 2 books at the same time in the library. I am glad that Professor Gordon just joined our faculty. Mobile phone chargers vary enormously from one place to another. There are many welcoming activities for new undergraduate and postgraduate students. Students can choose graduate certificate, graduate diploma, and master course. Please note, the proposal submission deadline has been extended. Many species have not yet been discovered by biologists. He told me it was the most important assignment of all. The trial experiment is to increase the interest of the issue and the jurisdiction clause. We've been doing research in that area for probably 25 years. The media have had a great influence on people's beliefs and attitudes. You realize that you can deal with a lot of situations. Marks will be awarded for a bibliography in the correct format. The campus car park will be closed next weekend. Understanding the historical context will help you appreciate the art in this era. She's doing a master's degree by distance learning.
Numerous courses devoted to life sciences are listed in the prospectus. It's obviously vital that companies should fully understand their customers. The results of the study challenge previously held assumptions. Please make an appointment before attending the next meeting. Please make sure you have filled in all your details before submitting. Assignments should be submitted to the department office before the deadline. You have to submit projects by the end of this week. You may use your student identification card to borrow books at the library. Keeping organized class notes will make study time more efficient. In Russia, my colleagues said my written language was hard to understand. For further information, you need to contact a member of our administration team. Students may not use calculators in the final exams. The first draft of the presentation is almost ready.
The subject is complex and difficult to explain. In your introduction, show you understand the question in no more than 4 sentences.
Telecommunication is based on the array of networks. Application forms for sharing accommodations must be completed 2 months in advance. Your lowest quiz grade has been omitted from the calculations. The contemporary literature works have been broadened and extended through interpretation. All students must return the books to the college library before the end of the term. Note that the deadline of the submission of proposals has been extended for a week. The current labor force is more competitive than it has been for a long time. Newspapers around the country are reporting the stories of the president. Today's lecture is canceled because the lecturer is ill. Social work is not the only subject in sociology. Collaboration is a feature of a successful company. Students must submit a thesis on an agreed subject within 4 years. A man who suffered serious brain damage during an operation is suing the hospital. There is not enough space for me in the car. We can discuss education in the tutorial next week. My tutor told him not to repeat the same argument again and again. Several students raised different examples. Please make an appointment with your tutor about work. Remember, your essay should have less than 2,000 words. The university policy on plagiarism can be viewed on the website. The website has probably the most attractive designs and layouts. Put the eggs in the center of the dish with the vegetables and herbs around the edge. The solution, when boiled, deposits most of its oxide in the metahydrate form. Fungi are important in the process of decay, which returns ingredients to the soil, enhances soil fertility, and decomposes animal debris. Weather here is unpredictable. There is no point in designing efficient cars if we use them more and more. The rising inflation rate indicates a decrease in demand for consumer product. Young children need education and organized activities. Any textual references you make should be cited appropriately in the footnotes. The brain is our central computer of our bodies. Read the safety instructions before using the equipment during the workshop. Exercise is important for mental and physical health. We have 3 distinctive libraries which are nationally acclaimed. Tuesday sessions will last for approximately 2 hours. Everyone should get access to art galleries no matter where they live. Until you complete the form, you cannot attend. There is too much information on this topic. Presentation skills are important to both universities and workplaces. Major sports on campus include rugby, soccer, and tennis.
It is clear that the effects of climate change will damage the world economy. The framework will help pose more research questions systematically. Experience would be an advantage for this managerial role. The library is located on the north side of the campus. I would like the assignment less than 2,000 words. Biographical information should be removed prior to the publication of the results. The United States is the largest chocolate manufacturing country. If you forget your password, you need to contact the Student Center. Please be careful when using Internet sources. If you need help, I can give you a hand in finding a flat. The course comprises 20 hours of lectures, seminars, and tutorials each week. To get further extension, you need to call the Education Executive on 401. Professor Gordon just called me a few minutes ago. Those students have to retake the module if their marks are too low. There won't be any space for me in the car. I look forward to meeting you and helping you realize your goals. The books are filled with drawings of machines invented when he was a student. Our tutorial will take place on the second floor in room 1. The library offers group study rooms, so you can work with other students. If you want to receive the reimbursement, you must submit the original receipts. Students can download the lecture handouts from the course website. Being a vegan means not consuming any animal products. Students should take advantage of the internet before attending the lecture. I would like an egg and tomatoes on white sandwich bread with orange juice. Applicants for the course preferably have a degree in English or journalism. Critical literature theories broaden interpretation. Any text or references you make should be cited appropriately in the bibliography. The cafeteria closes soon, but the snack machine is accessible throughout the night. The technician left the new microscope in the biology lab. Only those who are over 18 years of age are eligible to open a bank account in our bank. Ideally, free trade is beneficial to both trading partners. All applications of internship are available in the office. The geographic assignment should be submitted by the midday of Friday.
In English, the first letters of the months of the year are always capitalized.
A thorough bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment. Contemporary critics dismissed his idea as eccentric. You are required to submit the assignment before Friday. We are required to submit the assignment before Friday. The Lecture Theater 1 is located on the ground floor of the PAC building. The bookstore is located on the main campus behind the library. Is the hypothesis on black hole rendered moot as the explanation of astrophysics? In this library, the reserve collection of books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. The number of company bankruptcies skyrocketed in the third quarter. It is argued that students can learn more in collaborative rather than individual study. Our capacity to respond to national needs will determine our ability to flourish.
In my free time, I would like to read current affairs and newspapers. Anonymous behaviors can be identified without intervention.
Internet provides unusual opportunities for students and current events. Children can share their lunch at around noon. I don't like cheese and tomato sandwiches on white bread and orange juice. If she doesn't speak the language, she's not going to sit around and wait for a translator. To answer such a complex question with a simple yes or no is absolutely impossible. Fishing is a sport and a means for surviving. In 1830, periodicals appeared in large numbers in America. Arteries carrying oxygenated blood from the heart to other parts of the body. We will study the following 2 pictures in the next lecture. Companies are aiming to earn the money, not to change the society. We need to read the first 5 chapters to prepare for next week's tutorial. It is good for the environment, also good for your electricity bill. As a student union member, we can influence the change of the university. The Generic Biology Technology Lab is located at the north wing of the library. Don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions. It is within the framework that we're making our survey. The timetable will be posted on the website before the class starts. It is interesting to observe the development of language skills of toddlers. In 1880, cycling became a major phenomenon in Europe. The hypothesis on black hole is rendered moot as the explanation of the explosion. We want to attract the very best students regardless of their financial circumstances. Expertise in particular areas distinguishes you from other graduates in a job interview. I didn't agree with the author's argument, but his presentation was good. Students are competing for every place in the computer courses. Our School of Arts and Technology accepts applications at all points throughout the year. There are a range of housing options near the university. All sources of materials must be included in your bibliography. Negative discourse continues to be predominant in discussion of gender. Many undergraduate students go back home to stay with their parents after graduation. 39.5% of Californian residents do not speak English at home. Nearly half of television outputs are given away for educational programs. The minimum mark for distinction grade is no less than 75%. Number the beakers and put them away until tomorrow. Organic food is grown without applying chemicals, and the process is without artificial additives. I would like tomato and cheese sandwiches on white bread and orange juice. You can only choose one subject from biology and media. The Student Service Center is located on the main campus behind the library. The United States has the maximum production of chocolate. A renowned economist is selected to have a speech tonight at 8. Arteries carry blood from heart to the other parts of the body. The hypothesis needs to be tested in a more rigorous way. It seems that language appears from nowhere. Today we will be discussing the role of government in preventing injustice.
We didn't have any noticeable variance between the 2 or 3 tasks.
The theoretical proposal was challenged to grasp. The cafe will close soon, but you can use the snack machine which is running overnight. Higher fees make students think more critically about what universities can offer. We are constantly looking for ways to bring industry and agriculture closer together. She is an expert of the 18th century French literature. The Arts magazine is looking for a new assistant editor. Genetic and biochemical analyses have generated a detailed portfolio of mechanisms. Newspapers across the world are reporting stories of presidents. Student loans are now available for international students. By clicking this button, you agree with the terms and conditions of this website. Physics is a detailed study of matter and energy. This small Indian state is a land of forests, valleys, and snowy islands.
Globalization has been an overwhelming urban and urbanization phenomenon.
You should include your name and identification number on the registration form. We offer a broad range of undergraduate and postgraduate courses. To receive the reimbursement, you must keep the original receipts. The wheelchair lift has been upgraded this month. The visiting professor is going to give a lecture on geology. The recent study has thrown out the validity of the argument. The office said Dr. Smith will arrive later today. The office opens on Mondays and Thursdays directly following the freshman seminar. The first few sentences of an essay should capture the reader's attention. The current statistical evidence indicates the need of further research. The author expressed an idea that modern readers inevitably cannot accept.
Sport is the main cause of traumatic brain injuries in the United States.
The residence hall is closed prior to the closing time of the academic building at the end of the semester. Put the knife and fork next to the spoon near the edge of the table. Please finish all the reading chapters before the field trip. Most of the assignments should be submitted on the same day. More females than males graduated from universities last year. Meeting with tutors could be arranged for students who need additional help. It's time to finalize the work before the Wednesday seminar. I've got a tutorial in an hour and I haven't had any time to prepare for it. I will be in my office every day from 10 to 12. I believe children should read aloud more. Farmers do not always receive price for agricultural goods. Elephant is the largest land-living mammal. Don't forget to hand in your assignments by the end of next week. The context includes both the land history and the human history. Being a student representative on the union really cuts into my study time. Anyone who has a problem with their accommodation should speak to the welfare officer. Allergy problems do run in the family, but we don't understand why. All students and staff have access to printers and scanners. All undergraduate students should participate in the seminar.
All necessary information is in the assignment.
A computer virus has destroyed all my files.
You can change your courses on the website during the registration period.
Your watch is fast, you need to reset it.
You can pay using cash or a credit card.
You can find the Student Service Center on level 1 of home building. Please do not bring food into the classroom. Please pass the handouts along to the rest of the people in your row. I expect a long and stagnant debate for a week or two on this issue.
The politics combine both the legislative and the political authorities.
Vessels carry blood from the heart to other parts of the body. The current and conventional method has many disadvantages, including the side effects.
Most of the strategies are in a preclinical state.
In marketing, short-term thinking leads to many problems.
The gap between the rich and the poor did not decrease rapidly as expected.
The problem with this is that it fails to answer the basic question.
Number the beakers and put them away. Our university has strong partnerships with industry as well as collaborative relationships with government bodies.
What distinguishes him from others is his dramatic use of black and white photography.
A lot of people who have up until now been spending money having a good time now need to be more careful with their money.
In our campus, prospective students have access to 13 college libraries.
Student discount cards can be used on campus in the coffee house.
Meeting with mentors can be scheduled for students who require additional support.
The U.S. ranks 22nd in foreign aid, given it as a percentage of GDP.
He is almost never in his office. Leading scientists speculate that numerous planets could support life forms.
The study of archaeology requires intensive international fieldwork.
She doesn't even care about anything but what is honest and true.
But they haven't come to widespread use yet.
You can retake the module if your marks are too low.
Students are not allowed to take the journal out of the library. Please explain what the author means by sustainability.
Hypothetically, insufficient mastery in the areas slows future progress.
Once more under the pressure of economic necessity, practice outstripped theory.
Please sort and order the slides of the presentation according to topic and speech time.
You can download all lecture handouts from the course website.
Our class is divided into two groups. You come with me, the others stay here. Does the college refectory offer vegetarian dishes on a daily basis? All essays and seminar papers submitted must be emailed to your tutor.
No crop responds more readily than careful husbandry and skillful cultivation. You should raise your concern with the head of school. You must read the supplementary materials as the professor has a habit of asking questions from it. You must complete this chapter before going to the field trip. We are delighted to have Professor Robert to join our faculty. There's an hourly bus service from the campus into town. There will be a guest lecturer visiting the psychology department next month. There is no entrance fee for tonight's lecture. The seminar on writing skills has been cancelled. The School of Arts and Design has an open day on Thursday next week. The psychology department is looking for volunteers to be involved in research projects. The pharmacy was closed when I went past this morning. The lecture tomorrow will discuss the educational policies in the United States. The clear evidence between brain events and behavioral events is fascinating. The bus in front of the building will takes you to bus station.
The agricultural sector in that country has been heavily subsidized.
Students will not be given credits for assignments submitted after the due date. No more than 4 people can be in the lab at once. Meteorology is a detailed study of Earth's atmosphere. It is important to take gender into account when discussing the figures.
If you forgot your student number, you should contact Jenny Bryce.
I didn't understand the author's point of view on immigration.
Reserve collection of books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours.
A preliminary bibliography is due the week before the spring break.
The topic next week on colonialism will be the nuclear disarmament.
The library is located at the other side of the campus behind the Student Center. Residence Hall is closed prior to the academic building closing time in the semester. Many students are so scared of writing essays, because they never learned how. In consultation with your supervisor, your thesis is approved by the faculty committee. The program depends entirely on private funding. The first person in space was from the Soviet Union. People with an active lifestyle are less likely to die early or to have a major illness. Lecture theatre is located on the ground floor of the building. I could not save my work as my computer got crashed. To understand its entity, we need to go back to its origin. The tutor is there for help, so do ask if you don't understand anything.
Anatomy is the study of internal and external body structures.
The verdict depends on which side was more convincing to the jury.
All the assignments should be submitted by the end of this week. Even with the permit, finding a parking spot on campus is still impossible. Please register your student email account at your earliest convenience.
Unfortunately, the two most interesting economics electives clash on my timetable. Basketball was created in 1891 by a physician and physical education instructor. A demonstrated ability to write clear, correct, and concise English is obligatory. Due to rising enrollment for courses, universities should increase their staff too.
Portfolio is due to the Internal Review Office no later than Tuesday. The original Olympic Games were celebrated as religious festivals. The real reason for global hunger is not the lack of food, but poverty. A study skill seminar is on for the students who require assistance. The university celebrated the Earth Day by planting trees. 39.5% California residents don't speak English at home. A full list of bibliography is needed at the end of all filed assignments. 39.5% California residents speak a language other than English at home. I'm glad that you've got it. Students are afraid of writing an essay, because they have learned nothing about it. All filed assignments should have a full list of bibliography. Your enrollment information, results and fees will be available online. The cafe house is closed down and the snack machine is still running throughout the night.
The original Olympic game is one kind of original festival.
Rules about breaks and lunchtime vary from one company to another.
Company exists for money, not for society. Acupuncture is a technique involved in traditional Chinese medicine. Knives and forks should be placed next to the spoon on the edge of the table. I will now demonstrate how the reaction can be arrested by adding a dilute acid. A periodical is a publication that is issued regularly. New York City is famous for its ethnic diversity. The mismatch between the intended and reported uses of the instrument has become clear. The medical center is located near the supermarket on North Street. Essays should be typed with double space in white paper. Students can get access to computers on a daily basis. Dr. Green's office has been moved to the second floor of the building. The United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. We are not going to accept the assignment after the due date on Friday. The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam techniques. International students can get help with locating housing near the university. In the last few weeks, we've been looking at various aspects of the social history of London. During the next few centuries, London became one of the most powerful and prosperous cities in Europe. A lot of agricultural workers came to the East End to look for alternative work. Knife and forks should be placed next to the spoon on the edge of the table. This part of the story is the story of my father. If you want to quit the student union, tell the registrar. I'll start with a brief history of the district, and then focus on life in the first half of the 20th century. The minimal mark for distinction is 75%.
The glass is not a true solid because it doesn't have crystal structure.
Make sure you correctly cite all your sources.
Trade financing for the local market or the international market for exports begins from the first stop at the banks.
At the end of the Ice Age, there would have been enormous changes in animal and plant life. This brought about the tremendous change in the environment, with the sea level rising and creeping steadily inland.
At night, sailors in the Mediterranean can see the glow from the fiery molten material that is thrown into the air. The future of English is in the hands of countries where non-native speakers live. English is expanding as a lingua franca, but not as a mother tongue.
Higher numbers of patients were infected than during previous outbreaks of the illness.
Oh, by the way, if you want more information about any of the trips, have a look in the student newspaper.
I won't be able to attend the lecture because I have a doctor appointment.
The initial results are intriguing, but statistically speaking, they are insignificant.
Students should take advantage of the online resources before attending the lecture.
All students are encouraged to vote in the forthcoming elections.
The bus will depart from outside of the building in 5 minutes.
Some of the worst accidents in history have been linked to sleep deprivation.
I hope I can take early retirement before I'm 60.
An understanding of persuasive techniques should help you recognize their use.
First of all, a lot of students don't even know how to type very fast.
It's important for people to connect to each other.
Sometimes ads promote a brand rather than a particular product.
Adverts might use humour, drama, or catchy slogans to grab people's attention.
The research looked at neighbourhood cooperative schemes, such as community gardens.
He would gel if he was interrupted while painting.
He was an abstract expressionist painter. He's shown an interest in exciting new art movements.
Teenagers, more than most age groups, feel strong pressure